Hey, boys and girls, it's Mr. Gilbert, and it is Wednesday, April 15th. Happy 15th of April, and happy hump day. I today shaved my head because I really needed a haircut, and I don't know how to cut hair, so I just buzzed it off. So, um, this is weird. It's all fuzzy and funny. Um, so that's what's happening over at the Gilbert household. What's happening over with you guys? How's everyone doing? I love some of you have been sending me updates. That keeps me occupied throughout the day. And when I'm sitting by the computer and see an email from you, it just brightens my day. You know what else brightens my day? This guy that we're going to be reading about today. And today we're going to be reading about a man. Of course, it's Rob Williams on my screen, but of course, it's a movie here. Patch Adams, you read it with Mr. Scott last week. It's a really interesting story, and it's based off of a true story that we're going to read today. So this is the movie Patch Adams, but of course, um, we're going to be reading the article Healing with Happiness. So that will be in the link below. You can also find that in Mr. Scott's work from last week if you're having difficulty. So today, let's take a look at the prompt we're going to be reading or answering. Sorry, let me click out of this so I don't accidentally pull that up. Whoops. Okay. And the prompt we're going to be answering today is, how did Hunter Patch Adams help people? I'm going to probably refer to him as Patch Adams because the article does throughout. So let's just say, how did Patch Adams help people? And we're going to come up with three reasons, three ways that he helped people. There's a lot of ways in the article. So most likely you're going to have different things than I do today when you're planning. Now, I want to point out, and I have it in the seesaw right here. Today is a planning day. See this? It's a planning day. Make sure you're only doing your plan today. You shouldn't be doing any sort of writing today, just planning. And the reason for that is I really, really, really want you to be marking up the text. And when you're marking up the text, I want to make sure that you are marking up the text, and also using that text the next day to really stretch out your writing. So unfortunately, I don't think if I highlight something, if I move, I don't think it's working yet. It must be, yeah, it's like a software glitch here. So I'm going to use Adobe here, and I'll be able to highlight in Adobe and show you. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read Healing with Happiness. Remember, as you are reading with me or by yourself, whatever you want to do there, make sure you're marking up the text. This is really important because, again, the whole reason we mark up the text is so we can go back and stretch it out. So let's go on. Let's get started with Healing with Happiness. Dr. Hunter Patch Adams decided early in his life that he wanted to make the world a better place. World better. Many of the patients who have visited the hospital would agree that he has done just that. Adams was born in Washington, D.C., but lived in many parts of the world while growing up. His father was in the army, so the family moved often. Moving to new places helped Adams become good at making friends and accepting people for who they are. There we go. As a child, Adams performed well in school. He especially excelled at math and science. Above all, like most kids, Adams liked to play and have fun. Adams decided to become a doctor. During his medical training, he developed his own style of working with patients. When he talked with sick people, he wanted to understand how they were feeling. He was friendly and thought of ways to make them laugh, hoping to make them feel better. Some of Adam's teachers were not pleased with the way of treating his patients. These teachers believed that being friends with patients could get in the way of being a good doctor. Interesting. Okay, let's go to paragraph 5 here. Adams did not let his teacher's attitude stop him from trying to make patients laugh. One day he dressed in a clown costume. His bright colors and red nose made patients smile. After that, Adams continued to wear silly costumes while studying to be a doctor. After he finished medical school, Adams and 20 of his friends opened their own hospital. They converted a large house with 6 bedrooms into a hospital, where they provided free medical care. They named their hospital the Gesundheit, bless you, Hospital Institute. Gesundheit means health in the German language. It is also a funny sounding word. Of course it is. Let's all say that right now. One, two, three, Gesundheit, which makes it a perfect name for Adams Hospital. Like at all hospitals, the doctors and nurses in Adams Hospital worked to make sick patients well again. But Adams Hospital also provided fun activities for patients. They could garden and fish, they could watch and play, or see a dance performance. Adams thought the patients would begin to feel better if they were engaged in things they enjoyed doing. And here's a lovely picture right now, actually ridiculous looking doctor, but also just funny. And this is so cool. The caption says Hunter Patch Adams often wears his clown clothes in public. I'd love to meet this guy. All right, paragraph 8. I don't know why I just did that accent. The doctors and nurses at Adams Hospital were also trained to be funny and kind to patients. According to Adams, humor is very important. He thinks laughter and joy can sometimes help a sick person as much as any medicine. Some days, Adams dresses as a clown and rides a unicycle through the halls of the hospital. He believes taking the time to be friendly and silly with people shows them that someone cares. Paragraph 9. In the 1980s, Adams took his red clown nose and left the United States to visit other countries. His goal was to make people around the world feel better by providing them with medical care. He hoped to make patients feel more comfortable by talking with them and telling jokes. He also brought medical supplies to places that needed them the most. Whether Adams was giving medical care or supplies, he made sure that there was always a friendly smile under that bright red nose. Cracking funny jokes and making people laugh is effortless talent for some. However, it does not come naturally to everyone. For those doctors who feel they need help, Adams spends time teaching them how to be friendly and silly with their patients. He gives speeches all over the world and still wears a clown costume. The Gesundheit Institute is raising money to build a teaching center and a bigger hospital. This hospital will also provide free care for patients. And of course, Adams wants to be a fun and playful wants it to be a fun and playful place. Let's take a look at the picture here. Adams and a child in a Colombian hospital. There's this red clown as we've been talking about. Oop. Adams has written books about his style of healing patients. He writes that you don't have to be a doctor to help someone feel better. The most important thing anyone can do is visit people who are sick. Sometimes letting them know you care can be the most powerful cure of all. Wow, what an inspirational story! Just a really cool guy. Um, I would love to get to know Mr. Hunter Patch Adams here. Okay, so let's go back and let's take a look at. Let's click down to that. Let's not. Okay, let's take a look at the prompt. The prompt today is how did Hunter Patch Adams help people? Um, so let's get a topic sentence right now. Why don't you write a topic sentence down? I'll write one in just a second, and then we'll get started with evidence. So hopefully you have a topic sentence, and you probably saw me type mine. I wrote the doctor. Oops, the doctor Hunter Patch Adams helped a lot of people. I'm basically flipping this one around because I'm going to do tomorrow when we actually stretch it out. I'm going to do a bunch of framing here. I'm going to really introduce how, let's call him Patch, how Patch became a doctor, and then we're going to go into those details, right? So tomorrow we're going to do a bunch of framing, and then we will really stretch out those details. So today, let's do things a little bit differently. I want you to go find your first piece of evidence. Find one piece of evidence that explains how Patch Adams helped. Okay, so hopefully you have a piece of evidence. I'm going to get my evidence and then put it into my plan, and then we're going to do that back and forth bit, kind of switching things up right now. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at paragraph 4. Scroll down to paragraph 4, or put your finger on paragraph 4 if you have this printed out, and look at this paragraph. It says Adams decides to become a doctor. I'm going to highlight this bit right here because I think we definitely need. Whoops. We definitely need to include this in our writing, right? This is crucial to explaining exactly what we're thinking. He's helping people because he's a doctor. If we don't have that in our writing, no one's going to know what in the world we're talking about. So let's go ahead. Well, I have to add this. Okay. And let's add that right in. Let's say Adams became a doctor. Adams became a doctor. Again, you could write Dr. Hunter Patch Adams became a doctor, whatever. But again, I don't want you to spend all of your time planning, right? Planning should be a quick, short thing where you're spending most of your time actually finding the evidence. And then tomorrow, when we're writing, that's when we spend more time stretching that out. Okay, so we have Adams becomes a doctor. Let's go back to that paragraph right now and let's take a look at if there's anything else we can add in from this paragraph 4 to really help us with that supporting detail. So he becomes a doctor. I'm thinking to myself right now, thinking out loud, of course, so you can hear what makes him different. And the whole thing we talked about is right. He's silly and friendly. So there's this line right here. Whoop. He was friendly and thought of ways to make people laugh, hoping to make them feel better. I'm going to highlight this right. And let's see if I can. Can I add a little note in here? No, not so you can see it. But I like this bit. I'm going to put this right in my plan because it explains how exactly he's helping people when he's a doctor. So I'm going to bump down here, and this is going to be my supporting detail for detail number 1. I'm going to write Adams was silly and made people laugh. Um, and again, the whole reason I'm putting this in here is my supporting detail. I just want to explain more so that when I go to write about this tomorrow, I know that these two are connected, right? I know that detail 1 is he's a doctor, and detail 2, what's different about him? He wants to make them laugh, and he's friendly. You know what? I don't think I put friendly in there. Let's make sure we add that in there. I like that. Adams was silly and uh, friendly. Let's say to make people laugh and cared for. Okay, so let's do the same thing with detail number 2. I want you to go find detail number 2, find that evidence for me, and then I want you to write it in your plan. Okay, so find it, put it in your plan, and then I'll do one for you or with you. Okay, so hopefully you have your second detail down. If you hear that scratching, that is, of course, Archie. He's the cat in the house, and he wants in into this room. Bad Archie, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go down to paragraph 6, and I'm again answering the question: How did Patch Adams help people? One of the big ways, right? He's a doctor, becomes a doctor. That's our first detail. I like the fact that he opens his own hospital, the Gesundheit Hospital. So I'm going to highlight this first sentence here. After he finished medical school, Adams and 20 of his friends opened their hospital. I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to put that in as my first detail. So I'm going to say Adams opened, let's say Adams, and then we're just going to do a dash. Friends opened their own hospital. And now let's stretch this out so that you know exactly what, there we go, what we're talking about when we go to actually write about. I think it's important to put the Gesundheit Institute in there, the name of it. We definitely want to have that in our writing. We don't necessarily have to have it in our plan, but we should have that in the writing. You could have even wrote, if you can remember, you could surely get rid of this and write Gesundheit Hospital as well. You know, why don't we go back and, yeah, yeah, yeah. You could copy and paste this right out of here and put that in for your plan. But let's take a look at our supporting detail. What do you think is supporting detail? If we have Gesundheit Institute or this, he opened a medical school, sorry, hospital. What do you think we should add in for that supporting detail? How does that hospital help people? Do you have something? Write it down. I like this sentence right here. Paragraph 7, Adams Hospital provided fun activities for patients. They could garden, fish, they could watch or see or play see a performance. I'm going to highlight all this bit. And I think it's important because, yeah, you go to the hospital when you're not feeling well, and the hospital makes you better. But Adams Hospital did things differently. It could garden and fish or watch a dance performance. I'm gonna put that in my plan because I can stretch that out over. I could make a whole paragraph just out of that bit right there. I'm gonna say um, patients could garden, fish, or watch a dance performance. And I like that because again, it's different. And this tomorrow we can really stretch this out. I mean, we can make 3, 4, 5 sentences out with just this bit. Whoops, I'll space there. And really, really, really stretch out our writing. Okay. Let's go on to our third way. Now, again, there are tons of ways to Patch Adams help people. I want you to pick the best detail you can find in here. Go and find, I keep opening the wrong chapter. Find the best one and underline your evidence, and then let's put it in your plan. Give you another minute or two to find that evidence and then plan it out real quick. Okay, so hopefully at this point you have that evidence. Again, there's a ton of stuff in here. I mean, this article is just riddled with ways that Adams help people. But I like this bit right here. If I scroll down. Let's see, where were we? Yeah, paragraph 9. In the 1980s, Adams took his red clown nose and left the United States to visit other countries. And he goes around, and the whole purpose of that is he hoped to make patients feel comfortable telling jokes, blah, blah, blah. But he's telling other doctors how to do things, right? He's giving advice. So let's find it in a sentence that really emphasizes that. I'm looking right now because I lost my sentence here. I'm thinking, um, I know there was a bit about he trained them. For those doctors who need help, Adams teaches them how to be friendly and silly with patients. I might want to underline that bit right there. Um, the Gesundheit Institute is raising money to build teaching center uh, and bigger hospital. I like this bit right here, and then it provides free care for patients. I also like this right here. So um, I'm going to write in my own words. Adams trains other doctors. Right, he's training other doctors. He's going around. He's speaking. He's telling other doctors how he is doing this special type of, of healing and medicine because he's helping people get better, not only through medicine but also just making them happy and making them feel loved and cared for. And then I'm going to go ahead and add free free healthcare in here because again, I think this is a pretty cool thing that he does. He provides free care for patients, right? No charge, nothing like that. Um, he trains doctors how to treat people and then treats them the way they should be treated for free here. And I really like that bit. And again, I can take all that and stretch that out in my writing. So I'm going to say free healthcare and treats patients. I'm just going to add a little bit onto that. What a cool article. I mean, I'm really excited tomorrow to stretch out our writing. Today, we're going to have a challenge. I want to make sure everyone's watching the video, so we're going to have a code word. After your plan, when you submit your writing, I want you to write the word, hmm. Let's do fun word. Can you, I need like a good word. Like, hmm. Let's just do doctor. It's all about doctors today. Let's do doctor, DR period. That's the abbreviation for doctor. So after your plan, make sure everyone watches the video. You're going to write the word doctor on your paper. Okay. So I should see everyone watching the video, and then writing doctor, DR period. Or you could, I guess, spell it out doctor, DOCTOR. Okay, friends, it was great seeing all of you today. I just approved a bunch of your work and left you comments on Seesaw. Um, if you have any questions about Seesaw, please shoot me a message and I'll get back to you right away. And that's all for today, folks. Have a great afternoon. Bye.